In 2024, I reviewed somewhere around 130 cars, and I'm going to tell you which ones were the most memorable. I'll try to give you guys the top 5 best cars, I guess you could say, the cars that I was most impressed with, top to bottom. And it has nothing to do with price, has nothing to, I mean, in a few cases it helps, but we're going to look at all the reviews. I started with the Hornet RT. That was the first car that I reviewed last year, and then this was also the most expensive car that I reviewed last year, the Maybach GLS. If you guys are excited for today's topic as we start closing the year 2024, I'm very grateful. I had a fantastic year on the channel. The channel is still growing, and I'm very grateful for you guys and your support along the way throughout the years. I started this channel in 2018, started selling Lexus cars in 2020. I quit, went full-time YouTube, and I've never looked back. And so we're going to look back on 2024 here and try to come up with a top 5 list. This is going to be a lot of fun. I have an idea of probably 3 cars, but I don't know what the last 2 are going to be. All right. So guys, make sure you subscribe because I will be coming up with a video soon that is also going to update you on all the new cars coming out in 2025. All right. So I'm really excited about it. It's gonna take a lot of time and effort for me to compile a video like that. I'm not looking forward to that aspect, but I'm looking forward to the amount of interaction I'm going to have with you guys on all the new cars coming in 2025. And I don't know, I'm even thinking about doing a live stream. If you guys would prefer to do a live stream discussing all the new cars in 2025, let me know. And then from that live stream, what I can do is chop that up and say like, well, here's every new Toyota coming in 2025. Here's every new BMW, whatever. All right. So the cars that I feel like are worth boiling down, I'll put in this little spreadsheet below. All right. Because we got a lot of cars to roll through today. All right, so I said with the Hornet RT, unless you can get a really cheap lease deal on it, this made in Italy Dodge is probably not worth it. It's kind of fun, but it's probably not worth it. All right, Maybach GLS 600. It was, I don't know, wasn't it over $160,000, something like that? I saw one recently doing a car spotting video on my Honda Grom. I thought that was interesting, but is this a top 5 vehicle? Well, we'll just put it in here, and then we'll probably get rid of it. But it's early on the list. TLX Type S. I love the car. It looks great. It performs really nice. I love the engine in it. The 10-speed's pretty good. It's got a pretty compromised back seat to it. I don't think it's a top 5 car. Nissan Versa. You guys know I love like cheap cars. This is the last cheapest car in America. And I think the manual might be the cheapest. Unfortunately, to get a chance to drive the manual, but I was honestly impressed for the money. The problem with the Nissan Versa is that for a new car, it costs, I don't know, somewhere around $18,000 to $20,000, depending on how much discount you can get on it. That's a lot of money for such a compromised car. It's small. And it's, even though you get 35 plus miles per gallon in it, like I would rather pick a used Corolla hybrid than a new Nissan Versa, and they would be about the same money, right? So that's the problem with the Versa, and that's a problem with cheap cars in America. They're not cheap enough because used cars are going to be a better buy. Lexus TX. The problem with the TX is that it's a 6-seater in the hybrids, and I don't recommend the 350. Yes, I know it's not as bad as I've made it out to be. I've driven in the TX 350. I've driven the TX 350. They're just not, I don't know. It's not enough power for that size of vehicle, in my opinion, and I'd rather have a V6 in it. But is it a top 5 vehicle? No. GX 550. I reviewed quite a few last year. Yeah, the GX is a consideration. All right, we'll talk more about that later, though. The GV60. It's a great electric car. Not a good buy because it feels like a way more expensive Ioniq 5. Ioniq 5 I would take over the GV60. This is the only heavy-duty pickup truck I tested last year, the Sierra HD. It was such a mouthful. AT4X AEV was good. I don't know what else to compare it to. It's an absolute monster truck. Mazda CX-90. I'm absolutely putting this in the top, possibly in the top. And this will include the plug-in hybrid and the inline six, because both of them are very amazing to drive three-row crossovers. Love the CX-90. Now, I have seen people with reliability issues. It's first year of a new platform, first year of two new powertrains, first year of everything. All right, it's going to have some teething issues. Prius, the Prius came out in 2023. We'll put the Prius in here. I don't think it's going to last though. Godzilla, yes. GTR, that was out. I mean, rest in peace, right? Absolutely top 5 vehicle for me. Probably wait to the end, but definitely with a consideration. And it didn't. My videos on it really didn't get any views. So it is what it is. But yeah, I miss a GTR. I'm gonna miss it. It's perfection for what it is. All right, let's keep moving. Atlas. It's one of the best buys out there. I would say if you lease it. I don't know about long-term reliability. It has a turbo only, no longer has a V6. But it's a good vehicle for families. But I would probably lease one. You just get a lot of standard equipment. So it's a really good bang for your buck family hauler. Nissan Sentra. If you get them for cheap enough and lease one, yeah, it's probably worth it. They're fun to drive. They're just really slow. I mean, they handle well and they brake well, but they're slow as hell. Volvo XC60 Recharge. This could be a consideration. I love Volvo's plug-in hybrids. I haven't tested the new Refresh XC90 PHEV, and I'm sure that's going to be fantastic. This is one of the few Mercedes-Benz I drove last year, the GLA 35. I mean, it's kind of like a hot hatch sort of thing. Definitely not worth talking about. Ioniq 6, yeah, not really worth talking about either. I'd rather have an Ioniq 5. Mazda CX-50. We'll revisit this, but not the turbo. All right, we'll talk about a different variation. Grand Highlander. Well, here's the thing. The TX and the Grand Highlander at the beginning of 2024, I was able to review them because they weren't put on stop sale due to the airbag recall. Is the Grand Highlander in here over the TX? Yeah. I think the Grand Highlander is a better vehicle for the money. I can't even spell right now. So let's keep moving. Hyundai Santa Fe, also a really good vehicle for 2024, 2025 model year. Do not get the turbo, only get the hybrid in it. The turbo, it's my friends at Car Confections, Drew and Mason. They blew through 2 transmissions within like a month on the turbo model. Sorry, the 2.5 turbo, because the hybrid's turbo too. It's a smaller engine, but only get the hybrid there. GV70. Yeah, GV70 is my favorite Genesis crossover. Whether it's electric or the twin turbo V6, they're all really good. Or even the 4-cylinder I've tested, it's fantastic. All of them are excellent. QX60. Yeah, well, I can't recommend it anymore. We'll revisit the QX60. Let's see here. Which Volvo? XC40 rear wheel drive. Oh, that was the new the new EV. Look, this video absolutely tanked. This might have been my worst review of the year. I didn't even put recharge in the title. Whoops. All right, let's keep moving. I love driving the S5 Sportback. Is it a top consideration? I don't think so. The most memorable thing about it is that it is kind of outdated on the interior, which I like, because a lot of modern German cars are just very distasteful in the interior. So I like the interior here. I love the exterior. I like how it drives. It made my daughter sick, largely probably because I was driving very fast on the way to school and she puked in this car. So that's my memory of the S5. Defender. Yeah, I'm going to put the Defender in here. I drove 2 Defenders last year. The first one I drove was this, and then the other one I drove was the 90 wheelbase with the V8, supercharged V8, which that one was more memorable in some ways, but this one was just so good with the ride quality and overall refinement. And yes, I'm very impressed with the refinement of the Land Rover. I know you guys have your issues about the Defender's reliability. Just maybe lease it. I don't know. It's a rich person's toy. If money is really not an object for you, this thing's just unreal. Sienna. Yeah, let's put the Sienna in there. I just love cars so much that it's going to be hard to not include a ton of cars on this list. It's going to be also very difficult to eliminate these models, but we'll do it. We'll try it. We'll try it. Sienna Hybrid, yeah, crazy. Now I didn't drive the 4Runner. I will be driving the 4Runner late January, so stay tuned for that. Don't know when the embargo ends on that, but by the end of January. Land Cruiser. Can I put I feel like the Land Cruiser and the GX almost need to be in the same. I'll just put J250 just in the same category. It's there. We'll talk more about it. Camry. Absolutely. The new Camry is going to be in the top models here. And I reviewed a lot of different trim levels. G70, not very memorable, to be honest. It's fun to drive. GR Corolla, this was memorable because I took my buddies down to Key West in the GR Corolla. Really like the GR Corolla. Is it top 5 memorable? Is it top 15? Not quite sure. So let's move on to the next page. All right, the Tacomas, are they memorable? Top 15? No, I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Let's keep moving. The Alfa Romeo Giulia, it drove great. The handling is intoxicating on it, and the steering feel, but it's really old and it's really expensive, and there's other cars I'd rather have for the money. ZDX, Acura ZDX, not top. MX-5, absolutely worth considering in the top models here. Solterra, they're okay. They're a good EV if you just drive in town, but not top considering. Tacoma Hybrid, nah. ZDX, no. More GX driving. The ZR2 Bison was a surprise. I love how this thing looked with the 35-inch tires. The ZR2 Bison, the problem with it was just really underpowered. It could not handle all that tire moving around. It just felt super slow and lethargic. All right. It tried, but it just wasn't enough. So I'd be picking, for example, like a TRD Pro Tacoma or a Trail Hunter, especially the Trail Hunter I'd be picking over this. C40. This is probably one of the worst cars I've driven. I like Volvos, but you can't see out of the back of this thing. The window is just so compromised you can't see out of the back, so don't recommend. Dark Horse. Not memorable. It was memorable for being very expensive, and I would rather have so many other cars for around $70K, sports cars for around $70K. Actually, I'd rather have a Miata and save $30K over this Dark Horse. That's just personal opinion. Different things for different folks. All right, Palisade. It's good. Is it top? I don't think so. The new one, though, will change everything. The new design on it's fantastic. I'm excited to try the new 2.5 turbo hybrid. Corolla hybrid review. I drove the XLE, which is, they're all made in Japan. I don't think it's a top consideration. UX is probably bottom 5 consideration. It's a terrible buy. It's just very expensive for what you're getting. Just get an NX hybrid, or just don't get this. I really like the Gladiator. In some ways, I like it better than the Tacoma. It just has so much character. I like the V6 in it. It's great. It's really, really good. But I understand people and their issues with Mopar and whatever build quality. But I really enjoyed my time with this truck. You can take the top off. It felt special. Other than like a TRD Pro and maybe the Trail Hunter Tacoma, they didn't feel like the Tacomas just don't feel special. The Gladiator feels super cool. It's an awesome, awesome truck. But anyways, let's keep moving. Crown Signia. I love the design on it. It's not efficient enough. If it had the hybrid 5th gen system in there, I could probably put it in the top 5, but it's not there for me. Forester, super underpowered. I liked it outside of the underpoweredness. It's a good vehicle. It's a good buy. Just don't think it's top. Mazda 3. I was sick in this video. You can probably tell from my face. I'm dying. That's what I remember about this. Mazda 3. It's a good car, really fun car. offers a lot of performance for the money. The brake feel on the Mazda 3 is terrible. Suspension's so-so on it. I don't know. It's a good car. It's just not my favorite. I'd rather have a Honda Civic over a Mazda 3, but that's just me. If you need all-wheel drive, I get it. All right. Let's see here. Corolla Cross still has best in segment powertrain. I just had a couple of my friends text me. It was her birthday yesterday actually, and she's like, "Yeah, we're going to get the Corolla Cross Hybrid. Your videos really helped us." So it's like, great. I hope you guys love it. The powertrain on there is worth its price. It's great fuel economy, really smooth, really powerful and perky for the segment. It's a very good car. RX plug-in hybrid. We can put this in here. This was memorable. I mean, this was so good. This is what every RX should be, in my opinion. The 500H that I just drove in Lauderdale, it's fast and it's torquey, but it's not an R. It doesn't feel like an RX. The RX 450H feels like an old school RX. Very, very luxurious, super smooth, very quiet. It's an amazing plug-in hybrid. The problem is it's ultra expensive. I think it's in the mid 70s or something. BMW 5 Series, this car is a terrible buy. I just remember that being really expensive and I didn't like it. So I was kind of disappointed with the 5 Series. I don't remember why I didn't like it. Just watched the review. Wasn't impressed. Durango Hellcat, they're still making them. And so like it was supposed to be the last year. In my review, it says last call, but they keep extending it. Now, I don't think you can get the 6.4 in the Durango anymore. Only the 5.7 and the 6.2 supercharged. Again, Camry Hybrid, MDX Type S, loved it. The new 25 MDX Type S, it's really good. Really, really good. Now, I didn't have it for an extended review yet. I only drove it in California, but I got a lot of seat time in the Type S, and I do not recommend the non-Type S MDX. It does not feel like anywhere close to the same quality, build quality, NVH, performance, feel, etc. as the Type S. So like my recommendation for the MDX, and it's buzzy V6, it's loud V6, not the Type S. The Type S V6 totally different. All right, but get like a cheap MDX, like low trim levels. Do not spend like anywhere close to $60,000 on an MDX, because at that point you're better off just getting the Type S. Aria, I like the Aria, I like the styling, love the interior. It's just a very average EV. All right. Camry, super good. We'll talk more about the Camry. GMC Acadia, the engine was super loud on there. Wouldn't recommend. It's also very expensive. So yes, it's redesigned. Pretty average. I'm reviewing right now the new Chevy. I'm thinking General Motors. The new Chevy Equinox, not the Equinox EV. I already reviewed that. But the Chevy Equinox I'm reviewing, stay tuned for it. I like it. It's not a top 15 vehicle, though. Technically, that's a 2024 car. 2025 model year, but 2024 year car. Jeep Wrangler 392, not worth talking about, I guess. The Durango was more memorable for me, as well as the Gladiator was more memorable for me. Yes, it's insane. Everyone loves a big V8. Love the Honda Ridgeline. It was smooth. It was great. Really liked it. It's just so ugly. And I was able to get the Grom in the back of there. Again, reviewing another Sentra. The S8, drove another S8. I love the S8. It's super powerful. The twin turbo V. I picked my parents up from the airport in this thing, and I got up to, like, I don't want to say how fast I was going. Probably the fastest they've ever been in their life. So, yes, this thing is an absolute missile. And when you're doing illegal speeds, you don't feel it. This thing is made for the Autobahn. Absolute cruise missile, super smooth and powerful. Buick, yeah, I like the little made in Korea Buicks. Look, like the views were pretty decent on it. I thought it was just a really good car for the money. Super underpowered, if I remember right, but I like the 6-speed auto on them. Mazda CX-30. I know some of my friends really like it. Some of my colleagues in the industry like the CX-30. I can't get past how small it is in the inside for me, and I can't get past the black plastic cladding. Nissan Z, not the Nismo, but the Z. I can't recommend the Nismo. It's too expensive. It's automatic only. It's a rough ride. But the Nissan Z is great. Is it a top 5 vehicle? We'll see. LC500. Yeah, this vehicle brought me to tears. Got me choked up. I wasn't like crying, but like I was emotionally moved by this vehicle. It's just fantastic. For 2025, it's getting some underfloor bracing for the front and the rear, so it's even better now. But yeah, love the LC500 convertible, especially the convertible. But yeah, that's easy top 5 for me. Another CX-70, CX-70, CX-90 should be in this. It's the same vehicle, just 2 rows of seats. All right, it's fine. It's kind of in there, right? Mini. The Mini was very memorable, but it was the old Mini. Was this a 20? What year is this? A 24? The 25s, I don't think are even America yet. But they offer a fully electric powertrain. And I don't know if, yeah, I think a manual might be done in the Mini, which is a damn travesty. But this car was so fun to drive. I felt so alive in this car. I remember the software being terrible, absolutely unworkable. I didn't even care to try to learn it because it was just absolutely infuriating. So BMW, it's German software in general is just pretty gaggy. Let's see here. The new Tucson, refreshed Tucson, it's not memorable. It's a good car. It's not memorable. Corolla. Oh, I drove the base Corolla LE, which had a Kia ignition, and that's a LE hybrid. I've been reviewing cars from my local dealer, Germain Toyota of Naples, and so I've been getting some fun cars from them. So hopefully I can get back in rotation with them soon. All right, so let's get into the next page. Okay, this is our last page of reviews, another GV70. That was another electric. I drove a 24, then a 25 back to back. I think the 20, there's a new one that just came out. It should have more range, I think. But is it enough to move the needle? I don't think so. It's a great city EV, one of the best, in my opinion, for luxury city EVs. The new Santa Cruz, I just drove it really briefly off-road in California. Nothing to write home about. QX80, yes, let's get an Infiniti in here. QX80, let's put it up. Let's put in, might make the top 5. Who knows? We'll see. Honda Prologue, not top 5. The sound that it makes, the artificial noise that it makes, it's an absolute killer for me. It's a beautiful vehicle. Civic Si. Oh my gosh. Civic. Should we just put the Civic Si and the hybrid in the same tier? I think so, just like we're doing with the GX and the J250. Absolutely amazing vehicle. I just drove the Civic Hybrid and got about 47 miles per gallon. It's probably the most fun hybrid. And then the next generation hybrid technology coming from Honda in 2026, 2027 is going to be way more fun to drive. So the future is bright. Volvo V60. I love the looks of it. I love the wagon. I love wagons in general. The issue with this, I would take the Crown Signia for and save quite a bit of money here. The V60 Polestar Tune plug-in hybrid is the way to go, but it is very expensive. All right, Santa Cruz. Okay, so here's the irony. This was the refresh down here, and then afterwards I reviewed in my press rotation. I got the 24 model. The 25's better. The interior is a lot nicer and better thought out, but yes, still not moving the needle. 1958 Land Cruiser, again, is just kind of lumped in there. Then I went to Japan for a little bit. And the Kia EV9. Okay, so let's get an EV in here. EV9. I think that might be the only EV in the list. That was the only EV that I drove last year that really, I guess, impressed me. Possibly. We're not done with the year yet. So we're in October already, so the year is almost over. The QX60, I always adored this new generation. They got rid of the CVT. They put in a 9-speed auto, super smooth with the V6. I really enjoyed it. And then for 2025, probably for emissions regs or whatever it is, they swapped out the gosh, what did they call it? The VQ engines, the 3.5 liter V6 discontinued. You can still get one of those legendary Nissan V6s in the Pathfinder still, I think. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember. But definitely in the Frontier. But I don't think I drove a Frontier last year, but I like the Frontier. It's my favorite pickup truck in the midsize segment. But yeah, can't recommend this with the VC Turbo 2-liter now. It's a dog. It's rough, it's buzzy, it's loud. It's not good. It's not good. So it went from an instant recommendation to an instant maybe lease it if you get a crazy deal, but it lost one of its most enticing, luxurious aspects to it, which was that super silky smooth V6 in the QX60. All right, I don't know how this got sucked into the review list, but it did. So I just categorized it wrong in my playlist. But Subaru Outback, no, this thing was not memorable. The throttle response on it is terrible. It like dogs down on the RPMs. GR Corolla again, but this isn't the refresh model, so I haven't driven the 8-speed yet. Definitely will in 2025, so stay tuned for that. I could have driven it, but I had other events to attend. CX-50 Hybrid. Yes, let's put this on the list. I didn't drive a RAV4 Hybrid last year, but it has the RAV4 Hybrid powertrain. It's really good. You guys know I like minivans. Honda Odyssey, absolutely on the list as well. Love the Honda Odyssey. I still have it. Honda's given it to me, not really, but for press, a long-term loaner. We've had it since October, and my wife is just like, you need to buy this at the end because one, she feels safe in it. Two, it handles so well for a minivan. Like if you put an Acura badge on it and you started driving it, you were blindfolded. All right, assuming it was in a closed environment, you weren't gonna kill yourself or other people. Anyways, like you wouldn't know it's a Honda. It's just really comfortable. The ride quality is super smooth. The V6. We love the Odyssey. All right, so yeah, it's a great family car. Really, really good. It's not perfect, but it's really, really good. This got categorized in the wrong. The Century SUV. Maybe it comes to America. We'll see. Civic Si. Already talked about the CX. Yes, let's the Nissan Kicks. Nissan Kicks. I was really impressed with. Very affordable, very spacious. It handles well. It had pretty good ride quality. It is slow, but that's kind of par for course on the segment. The interior was a lot nicer than something like the Corolla Cross. So unless you're able to get the Corolla Cross hybrid, this is better than any other vehicle in the segment. Better than the HR-V. I just really like it. Really, really, really like it. If the HR-V had a hybrid, then I'd pick the HR-V hybrid. But I think the HR-V is ugly. The Kicks is just a really, really, really good, well-rounded vehicle and pretty good fuel economy too. IS 500. Love the car. Not top 5. It's not worth throwing in there. Let's see here. Bronco Everglades, cool. Not top 5. I'm excited to drive the new Passport, guys. The new Passport coming early, next few months. To be honest, I hopefully am driving it February, March, April, somewhere in the next few months. I will be driving it, so stay tuned. I also will be driving the ADX, I think, in March. It's going to drive like a CVT Integra that's lifted, because that's kind of what it is, and kind of like an HR-V at the same time. Anyways, am I excited for it? Not really, but I'm excited for Acura to have a more fleshed out lineup. They needed an entry-level crossover, and I know this isn't for enthusiasts. It's fine. It's going to be fun. They'll sell a boatload of them. Back into the Crowns. This snuck in there. The ES. I don't know. I just categorized it wrong. Accord Hybrid. Super smooth. Very luxurious. It's rides well. It's more luxurious than the Camry, but the Camry's more powerful. The Camry has all-wheel drive. The Camry has more optional features. The Camry's less expensive. Overall, the Camry is a better vehicle, but if luxury is the most important thing, this is a better luxury vehicle than the Camry. All right. It's just, yeah, it's gets about 46 miles per gallon, which is good. It's good, but it's not the Camrys. I got up to 62 miles per gallon on the Camry. Crown Sedan, Hybrid Max, not top 5. It's good, not top 5. Let's see here. Civic Hybrid. We'll talk about if it's top 5. It's already on the list. Sentra again. How many Sentras did I review last year? Boatloads of them. I don't know why I got so many Sentras, but I did. CX5. Absolutely on the list. CX5. Is it a top 5? We'll find out. It's really, really good. RZ, really liked it. I think it's one of the best city cars for Lexus. Get a good lease deal on it. It got cheaper for 2025. The Equinox EV, lease an LT. Get the EV tax credit while you can on it. Get this thing for under, or lease it for under $28,000 on the LT model, front wheel drive. That's the way to go. Do not spend. I think this one was somewhere around $50,000. No, it's good range. It's a fine EV, but it feels like it's more of a $30,000 vehicle than the $50,000 RS, 3RS, or whatever it was. They changed the trim levels around for 2025. But anyways, it's not. If you have to have an EV, it's probably one of the best ones to lease under $30,000, right? It's just kind of a category of its own. Good range, good price. Not, other than that, it's not memorable. Let's see. What else did I finish? That's it. Oh, the WRX TS. Too expensive. Way too expensive. And the thing, it's not the easiest manual to drive. It took me about a week to get smooth with it. And I drive a lot of manuals, and it's a good car. Too expensive. Get a base WRX with the manual would be the way to go. And the RX 500H is way too expensive. All right. So with that being said, let's look at our list, and then we need to actually come out with the top 5. All right. GLS 600. I guess I can just erase. We'll revisit the GX. We're just going to whittle out the weaklings here. So CX-9, good. Prius, no. I love the Prius Prime especially, but the Prius, I love the looks of it. They're expensive, really expensive now, and the Camry is just such a good car. LC5 Mini will reduce. We'll get rid of the Mini. Let's see here. Sienna. Yes, I was able to get 37 to 47 miles per gallon, pump verified. Love the Sienna's fuel economy, but outside of that, the Odyssey does just about. Like, I can nitpick on things, but the important things, the Odyssey does everything better than the Sienna. The Odyssey objectively is a better minivan. The Sienna just gets better fuel economy. Taking that out. All right, XC60 plug-in hybrid. Love Volvos, but it's not going to make the list. Grand Highlander. Maybe let's revisit. Santa Fe hybrid. Now, I'm going to remove it, not because I'm going to remove it because I haven't had it technically for a long-term loaner yet. So the jury's still out. GV70 is really good. EV9. All right. Is EV9 a top? It might be top 5. Let's see if we can remove anything else. CX50 hybrid here. Yeah, let's revisit that. Nissan Z, I'm going to take that out. MDX Type S, RX. RX is just too expensive, but I really, really, really like it. All right, so we're making some room here. Crown Signia, not top 5. Nissan Kicks, ooh, it's just such a good buy. Could I have 2 Nissans in the top 5? Is that allowed? I feel like the GTR just deserves its own category. We'll put that down there. All right. GTR is an honorable mention because it was the last year. Defender versus GX / Land Cruiser. If I was leasing, I would get the Defender. If I was buying, I would get the J250 or the GX. Oh, if you had to put a gun to me, I'd probably pick the Toyota Lexus. But with that being said, if there wasn't a gun on me and there was no business implications, because I could make a lot of videos on the GX and the Land Cruiser and make a lot of money making videos on that, but probably not the Defender. Oh, I prefer driving the Defender. The Defender drives better. It feels like it's better built. You might be saying, Kirk, these are built in Japan. I don't care. The Defender is a smoother vehicle. It handles better. It has better ride quality. The interior is so much better than the GX. I like the Land Cruiser interior better than the GX, and that is unacceptable. Oh my gosh. To just ruffle some feathers, guys, I'm gonna pick the Defender because the V8 in it was unforgettable. All right. So sorry, GX Land Cruiser. I really like you. Really like you, but yeah, I just want to do that to ruffle some feathers and get you guys talking. Let's see here. Let's do this. Grand Highlander versus CX-90. I'm picking the CX-90. I know the Mazda will get its reliability ironed out over time. And the CX-90 inline six and the optional plug-in hybrid, they're just so much more fun to drive. It's a better vehicle. The Grand Highlander is a better utility vehicle. There's more room. But this is honestly the family mover vehicle outside of BMW. I haven't tested the X7 or X5. This is the better family enthusiast vehicle, and I'm more of an enthusiast at heart. Okay, same thing with the Odyssey. The Odyssey is more of an enthusiast minivan than the Sienna. The engine, oh my gosh, not only is it smooth, the VTEC kicks in on that V6, and it handles amazingly. So the Odyssey is just so good. All right, I think the Odyssey might get top 5. All right, let's start weeding out MDX Type S or GV70. MDX Type S. Sorry, GV70. It's just apples to oranges. GV70 is really good. It's just so cramped in there for me personally. The back seat's so tiny and tight. I love the GV70, but I would take an MDX Type S over it. I'm just going to put this here and we'll revisit the Camry. MX-5. MX-5 is in the top 5. We just said the Defender. Well, let's put the Defender over here. We still haven't for sure crowned the Defender as a top 5 vehicle that I drove last year or reviewed last year specifically. Odyssey, we haven't said Odyssey if it's going to be top 5, but we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. We're down to the final. We're down to the final few here. See, here's the thing: the CX-50 hybrid's really good. It still suffers from some of the flaws of the CX-50 non-hybrid, which is torsion rear beam suspension. It has a lower roof line to it. It drives great. I mean, it's kind of fun, sort of fun for a Mazda SUV compared to like a RAV4. I would pick this over a RAV4 hybrid, the CX-50. Yes, 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 yes. Is it better than the CX-5? And the answer is no. The CX-5, built in Japan, it is, I just reviewed it like 2-3 weeks ago. It is phenomenal. It is unbelievable vehicle. The seat's just uncomfortable in it. I think that's the biggest takeaway. The seat's uncomfortable. The CX-5, I think, is going to make top 5 here. And I might have to expand this. Top 5 is just a good title, right? A good title. And I know I'm changing the rules as we go, but I mean, it's my channel, so that's what I do. All right. I'm not playing games with anyone else, and I'm accidentally putting formulas into the spreadsheet. CX-5 has made top 5. Yes, absolutely. All right. What else? CX-90. Here's the thing. We have to pick a 3-row SUV, 3-row crossover here, and only one of them. And I guess you could say the Defender is a 3-row too. Out of the 4, and then the EV9 as well. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of 3-rows in here. I have a family, so that makes sense. Out of the 5 of these, can I start eliminating? I like them all so much. This kind of hurts. All right, and I already eliminated the GX. I think the thing is here, yes, this is the only EV that made it. This is probably the best EV, the most surprising EV that I drove last year. I did not drive the Ioniq or whatever, the Ioniq 5N. Gosh, I'm looking at Kia, right? Kia just revealed the EV9 GT, so that's what's on the top of my mind. QX80 was really good. I'd take it over an LX 600. But I would take an Escalade V8 over the QX80. So the QX80, it's good, not top 5. EV9, maybe top 5 EV, but this is just top 5 cars overall, so I'm taking that out. MDX Type S or CX-90. Well, here's the thing. Objectively, the MDX Type S is better than the CX-90, but the CX-90, the interior is better than the MDX. The It's rear-wheel drive bias, and that has such a good feel to it. The inline six is special. It's made in Japan. Like, I know that's just kind of like a subjective card for me because I know this vehicle has its reliability issues, the CX-90. Out of the three, I think I'm going CX-90. All right, so we'll put that over here. We'll get rid of these. So here we have the finalists for the top cars I drove last year. I love minivans, so of course the minivan had to make the list. So here's the thing. Let's start rating these cars. And it's hard to do because they're all different. Let's start rating these cars. All right. Which one would be the lowest on the list here? Probably the Kicks. All right. Next on the list. So let's take the Kicks out of the pool. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Next on the list is probably CX-90. All right. So let's take CX-90 out. And next on the list, F. Oh my gosh. So the good thing is I can like edit out the amount of time I'm thinking about which to put next on the list. Oh my gosh. Honestly, this pains me. It pains me, but I might have to put the Odyssey here because as I look at these vehicles, I start to look at things like they're all fantastic. They're all elite. No pun intended, because I'm driving the elite trim of the Odyssey. But like, there are some things about the Odyssey that aren't perfect. So like fuel economy, for example. So that lands it there. All right, I think I'm gonna have to do CX-5 here. It's old, but that's what makes it so good. And the seats, the front seat's so uncomfortable for me. So I'm gonna have to put the CX-5 there. All right. The fact that it made top five cars. Actually, it's top five. The CX-5 is our first top five car on the list that we've whittled down. All right. Now it gets really hard. Oh, I'm going to do Civic Si / the hybrid. All right. I know that's two cars in one. The Civic is the best in its segment. There's no denying it. I'd take it over Corolla. I'd take it over Prius. I'd take it over not Camry. I'd take it over Sentra. I would take it over the Elantra. The Civic is best. The SI is unbelievably good. Here's the thing. The SI, when I drove it, I only got about 25 miles per gallon in town. I was a little disappointed. I thought it would be able to get better than that. The hybrid on it got 47 miles per gallon. It's good, but I was expecting a little bit more. I know it's not rated for more. It's rated around there, but I thought I could game it to get more, and I just couldn't. All right, but yes, once Honda comes out with their next gen hybrid on this, where it feels like you're driving a DCT, then it's going to be it's totally different ball, and it's going to be more efficient, and it's going to be more powerful. Like, it's going to be unreal how good the next gen Civic hybrid is going to be. All right, these top three right here, top three, LC 500. It's the best car out there. If you have 120K to drop, specifically the convertible for me, because where I live in Florida, LC 500 convertible, it was the best car I drove last year. The next is a Camry, guys. I'm just going to say it. I love the MX-5. I used to own an NA back in the day. I love the MX-5. MX-5, it's just, it's a toy for the most part, and I've replaced the idea of having an MX-5, at least right now, with motorcycles. And motorcycles are they more fun than an MX-5? Yeah, probably. Just the MX-5 is just so much more capable for long distance than most motorcycles. But the MX-5 to me, I just love it. I love it so much. It's so fun. The manual's so good on it. The drop top fun. It's so light. It's just gotten improved over the years. The ND, we're now in the ND3. MX-5, easily top three vehicle for me. LC 500 convertible, just watched my video on it. It broke me down a bit emotionally. The exhaust note, the open top experience, the sex appeal, the interior quality, the identity of a Lexus that has been lost over the years, but it feels like it has the same soul as the LFA. Never drove the LFA, but like a piece of the LFA lives on the LC 500, piece of the original LS 400 lives on the LC 500. It's elite automobile. New Camry is probably the best buy of 2024, the new 2025 model. The new Camry's unreal. I already said the Accord hybrid is a smoother, more luxurious vehicle, but the Camry hybrid is so much more affordable, so much more efficient. It's more responsive, and you can get the watch my LE review. The LE Camry, like even the base sound system's good on it, and the cloth seats are fantastic, and you can get heated steering wheel, leather wrapped steering wheel on a base Camry for around $30,000, $31,000. The base Camry, all the way up to the XLE and XSE, depending on how you want your Camry equipped, you can get it with all-wheel drive. The Camry is a better vehicle than the Accord top to bottom. It's a better vehicle than just about anything out there top to bottom, in my opinion. Good performance, elite fuel economy, elite smoothness with the powertrain. Actually, good smoothness with the powertrain. It's better than the 4th gen. It's not quite as smooth as Honda's Accord hybrid, but it's getting really, really close. Like I said, all-wheel drive available. You have all the options available to you as well if you want, like panel roof, 360 camera. Yeah, the Camry is just amazing. Amazing. I love that it's standard hybrid now. Some of you guys, I saw a troll. I wouldn't call him a troll, right? I respect everyone's views. I saw someone in the comments yesterday saying that, hybrids are terrible. I have a 2012 Prius, and the thing is still getting 55 miles per gallon, no maintenance to it. I changed my oil on it myself for the first time a few months back. I'll never do it again because it's hard to get under that vehicle. It's so low to the ground. You have to peel back plastics on it because it's so smooth underneath. So you have to pop pins out, and it was just a pain. So I'm just going to pay to get the oil changed on it going forward on the Prius. But yeah, the Camry, easy top 2 vehicle. Well, not easy, but easy top 5 vehicle. LC500 best vehicle, but it just costs $120K. MX5 is nothing else like it in the world. And the amount of joy that it gives the drivers, it's kind of unparalleled for the money. Civic Hybrid and Civic Si, they made the top 4, right? Unbelievable vehicles, best in segment. All right, CX5, an oldie, but a goodie. It's gotten better over the years. As everything's gotten more modern, the CX5 has stayed the course. Stop banging on the doors and the walls. Stop messing with the switches. All right, where was I? I had to help the kids turn a light on in their room, right? The pull strings, they can't really reach the pull strings on the fans, on the light fan fixture. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, CX5. Honestly, if it had the RAV4 hybrid in there, it would be even better. The CX50 gets it. So if you need to have your hybrid fix in the Mazda lineup, that's the way to get it right now. The CX50 was one of the honorable mentions, and I would pick it over a RAV4 hybrid. Would I pick it over a CRV hybrid? I don't know. It just really comes down to the deal you get. CX5, though, naturally aspirated or turbo, the thing feels super solid. Built in Japan, one of the best cars I drove last year, and it's old. Like, even though it's a 25 or whatever, it feels old. But old architecture sometimes just means it's built better. If you guys know what I mean. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. They don't make them like they used to, right? And the CX5 kind of feels like that. Honda Odyssey made the top 6 vehicles. It's the best minivan money can buy. I haven't driven the Carnival, so I can't compare to that. I really want to drive the Carnival hybrid. I like that hybrid setup in the Santa Fe hybrid. I really, really, really need to test it in the Carnival. But the Odyssey handles so well. I know the Carnival is not going to handle like the Odyssey. The Odyssey's V6 is honestly perfection. So smooth, so buttery, powerful, and it has VTEC at the top end to make me laugh and giggle when I'm hustling the family around. Great ride quality, great features. 18, 19 miles per gallon is the Achilles heel on it, but god damn, it's so good. CX90, yeah, it made it in there. Why? Well, if I wasn't such a lunatic about things being fun to drive, it probably wouldn't have made it, right? Long-term reliability, still a question mark on the CX90. It will get better year over year as they work out the bugs in this new platform and new engine and new powertrains. I like the CX90 plug-in hybrid better personally. It's a smoother transmission. And driving an electric's kind of fun with it as it shifts through the gears. It's kind of odd, but really like the CX-90 plug-in hybrid. And then the Inline 6 is really good too. It's just no other, unless you get into a BMW or something, no other family hauler SUV handles the way this does. Okay. It's just in the interior on the upper end of the CX-90s is nicer than mini Lexus models. It's comparable anyways, so just different design. The RX feels a little bit more insulated than the CX-90 for comparison, but the CX-90's interior is better than the TX's. I don't think you guys would fight me on that. And the Nissan Kicks, I don't know what, like I just whittled out so many vehicles. Obviously the Kick, like, and the GTR, rest in peace, but the Kicks, I guess I can put this up. Kicks makes top 8. Why is it? I feel like, right, Nissan's getting such bad press lately for their own reason. Well, let's do Nissan Kicks. Look at these things, 23 grand. This is why. Don't buy a Versa. Don't buy a Sentra. Get the Nissan Kicks. Yes, it's a little bit underpowered, but like the base Kicks is such a good deal. Check this thing out. It looks great. It looks like a baby Aria, and the Aria is a fantastic looking car. Yes, it has hubcaps. I don't care, but the practicality here, I love the cloth seats, volume knob. Yes, you have a basic screen, but you're still gonna have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You still have this nice MID behind the steering wheel. Kicks is a really good car. So that's all I can say about it. Like, even has seek buttons on here. Backup camera standard, but like, yeah, love the Nissan Kicks. One of the best buys out there. That's why I had to put it on this list, and rest in peace GTR. So yes, the top 5 are on here. From the CX-5 to the Civic to the MX-5, the Camry, and the LC500. The top 5 are on here, but I put in some 3-row vehicles for you guys. So you could say Odyssey is the best minivan. You could say the CX-5 is the best midsize, or you could say compact crossover. The CX-90 is the best 3-row crossover. Nissan Kicks is the best compact crossover. Objectively, the Corolla Cross Hybrid is better because the powertrain is just so good. But like I just showed you, this is such a good deal on the Kicks. There you go. The best sedan for the money, the best sports car, the best luxury coupe for the money. The best midsize, or should I say compact sedan here. So I pretty much, isn't that crazy? I kind of whittled it down and boiled it down, almost best category. I don't have truck in here. If I were to have a truck, it would be the Frontier, but I didn't drive the Frontier last year. So like that's like 3 Nissans on the list. And I mean, I haven't driven the Armada, the new Armada, and I probably recommend that over the QX80 because it's the same vehicle, essentially, just different styling. I probably wouldn't make the top 10 though, but there you have it, guys. I know the Frontier I didn't drive it last year, but if I would have driven the Ford Maverick, here's like honorable mentions. I didn't drive the Ford Maverick last year, but I drove it in 2023. Love the Maverick Hybrid. So like, honorable mentions. So these cars, like I didn't drive last year, but I've driven them in years past. And if I did drive them last year, they probably would have been a contender. All right. Honorable mentions would be like, I mentioned the GX already, GX / Land Cruiser. We talked about the Defender. What else is definitely an honorable mention? The Frontier. I probably like CRV Hybrid. It's an honorable mention. I don't know. I drove the NX Hybrid this year, 350h. I mean, I would probably pick, here's the thing, I'd probably pick the NX 350h over the GV70 just for residual value reasons. But if you're leasing, get which one you would prefer performance-wise. But, and then the good old Maverick Hybrid. I know they've gotten more expensive, but there's nothing else like it on the market. It's kind of like the MX-5 is expensive for what it is. There ain't no competition to the MX-5. No BRZ or GR6 that doesn't drop the top. So it's not the same in my opinion. So the MX-5 is in a category of its own. The Maverick Hybrid's in a category of its own. So there you go. I'm sure I could think of a bunch more honorable mentions on this list today, but I can't wait to see what you guys have to say below. There could be some amazing cars that I'm just not thinking of for honorable mentions, also that I didn't make my top list here. There could be some cars that I didn't drive this year. Actually, a ton of cars, especially the Germans. I don't get a lot of those in my rotation. I don't get a lot of the American cars in my rotation. Would any of those have worked its way in the list? I've heard amazing things about an X5. It could have maybe knocked off the CX90 here or something like that. I just don't know without having driven one. And same thing with like the Kia Carnival. So just don't know. So I'll see you guys in the comments. These are the top vehicles that I drove last year. These are some honorable mentions that I maybe haven't driven or driven in years past that are really, really good. And I'm going to shut it down there. If you guys like this video, I'm just realizing how long it is at this point. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the heck out of the like button and stay tuned for every new car coming in 2025. Oh man, and if you want it to be a live stream, because it might be easier that way. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.